Hi everyone, it's Emma Bennison back with you for another weekly update on the work of Blind Citizens Australia. And today I have two special guests with me. Sally Orish will be well known to anyone who watches these videos regularly. Sally is the General Manager of Projects and Engagement with Blind Citizens Australia. And Bill Jolly is a very well known figure in Blind Citizens Australia, and Bill is here as chair of the board of the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation, and we'll hear a bit more about that in a minute. But today we're here to talk specifically about BCA's brand new scholarships program. And Sally, I'll start with you. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview of the program and tell us, why BCA decided to establish it in the first place?
Thanks, Emma. So for quite some time, we've been conscious of the added expenses that studying when you're blind or vision impaired can bring. Not only do you need to, pay your course fees and purchase any textbooks and course materials, but often there's a lot of assistive technology and other things that we need to complete our courses. And so a few months ago, BCA was fortunate enough to receive some funding from the Department of Social Services as part of one of our ILC projects. And we're also able to team up with the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation to create the BCA Hugh Geoffrey Scholarships Program to support students who are completing tertiary education courses, be that TAFE or university or through a private college in an area that interests them, and be able to offer them a financial scholarship to contribute towards the cost of their study and related expenses.
Thanks, Sally. And Bill, coming to you, of course, Hugh Geoffrey is fondly remembered by many of us as someone who is a great mentor and teacher to many of us. Do you want to give us a bit of information about Hugh and the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation and why the foundation is partnering with BCA on these scholarships?
Well, Hugh Geoffrey was my first music teacher, and bad luck for him that I was pretty much tone deaf. But he was, more importantly to me, he was a great role model, and he encouraged me to enjoy the cricket and to follow the stock market and to take an interest in blind affairs. Every Christmas, Hugh Geoffrey would ring us up at home to see how we were going in our family and see how we were coming along. So he was a great mentor, and I remember him very fondly. But I also remember when he was one of the people that started Blind Citizens Australia, he had a sort of a dream that Blind Citizens Australia would not be solely dependent on day-to-day fundraising or on government grants, and that we would have a program or an endowment to support the work of Blind Citizens Australia. And so that was his motivation, along with David Blythe, to form the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation as a trust that could raise funds, particularly through bequests, to support the ongoing work of Blind Citizens Australia. David, who we all know was the first president of Blind Citizens Australia, he also had a dream that BCA would have a scholarships program to support young people coming through in their studies. And he got the idea when he visited the National Federation of the Blind in the United States, and they had a well-developed scholarships program. So there's the coalescing of those two dreams that come together with then the opportunity with the creation of the BCA Hugh Geoffrey Scholarships Program, that the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation would support the program, contributing some funds so that we are able to provide 5 scholarships. And it's a very good example of the work of the foundation to support Blind Citizens Australia and to support the leadership in carrying out the projects that they want to carry out.
Thanks, Bill. And it's really wonderful, I think, that BCA has the Geoffrey Blythe Foundation. It's when I look around at other equivalent not-for-profit organisations, very few, if any, of them have this wonderful source of support that's not tied to any other kind of funding requirement or outcome. It really is a fantastic gift that Hugh and David have given to all of us in the blind community, I think. So Sally,
yes, it's a very special thing that we have, and it's something we should cherish. And I encourage members and supporters of Blind Citizens Australia to think about making a donation or a bequest to the Jeffrey Blythe Foundation, because it's a really great way of your support going in perpetuity towards the work of BCA.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great opportunity. So I encourage people to consider making a donation to the foundation.
And you can do that through the BCA office.
Yes.
That's the easiest.
And so, Sally, coming back to the scholarships now, do you want to tell us who the recipients are of this first round of scholarships?
Absolutely, Emma. We had a number of applicants this round, which was extremely exciting for us, but we are thrilled to announce the first 5 recipients of the BCA Hugh Jeffrey Scholarship Program, and they are Katie Butler, Sammy Alexander, Luke Andrews, Mehdi Hassani, and John Siver.
Excellent. And can you tell us a bit more about, in brief, what each of those people are studying and what they're planning to use the scholarships for?
Yeah, absolutely. So John is studying a course in hydroponics to help learn how to grow vegetables and edible plants through a different form of gardening, and that will contribute towards his course fees and some related materials that he needs to complete the course. Katie is studying her PhD at the moment, and the scholarship will help go towards the transcription that she will need when she conducts field research, and having that transcribed into an accessible format for her. Sammy is completing her study in law, and she'll be using the funds to contribute towards a new laptop, which she is in desperate need of after many years of study on the same old device. Luke is studying in the area of science with a particular interest in physics, and his scholarship will go towards his course-related expenses. And same for Mehdi, who's studying in the area of sport and business. His scholarship will go towards course-related expenses as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for sharing this exciting program with us, and very much looking forward to seeing the results of these scholarships, and also the flow-on effects to the tertiary institutions where people are studying, and how we can utilise these opportunities to make tertiary study more accessible to people who are blind or vision impaired in general. So very exciting. Thank you both. Thank you also to Naomi Barber for your assistance today with this video, and I look forward to talking to you all again next week.
Thank you,
Thank you, Emma.